Folks, hope you're all good. So this is day 3 of working from home, the new reality, and following on from the historic announcement by Boris Johnson that please just stay in your houses, and I think we have to. It's pretty hard. So for me, I started work from home full time from last Friday, so that would have been 20th of March. So today's Tuesday, and I've decided with everything that it's about staying really positive. So this is my new working environment. It's not exactly the same as having a desk and a chair at work. And also, obviously, the restricted space as well. So, because it really doesn't matter what you've got, a house is a house and an office is an office. So, but you have to make the best of it. So, I'm just making this video this morning to encourage everyone. It's our new reality. We have to obey for our own safety. We have to obey the government. We have to obey. We have to do what is sensible. And what is sensible is for everyone to stay in the house. And I think it's such a global thing. So even countries experiencing really low rates of COVID still have to maintain some form of caution, some form of precaution, making sure people adhere to all the medical advice given. So all set up, and see, that's my workstation, which is actually quite comfortable. So it's the reality of what we've got is what we face. Day two of working from home was quite interesting because everyone in my work anyway, we're all pretty savvy with using our Wi-Fi's and using the internet and using the various applications like Skype, Zoom, Teams to work quite well, efficiently. So, and we all had a confab. I guess the key thing, it's about the fact that you don't move around as much. So you have to be conscious of getting up, making sure you do move around as much as you can. It can be difficult where your journey is limited to your desk and to the kitchen to get some sustenance, but you have to make an effort. And if you do have a garden as such, so I do have one, reasonably sizable, not huge, but going up there 2-3 times just to make sure you get some exercise. And I'm sure you can hear the TV in the background, so I've put it on just so I can get some news. It's on low. When I do have meetings, I'll turn it off just so I can concentrate on my meetings and work, so it doesn't really keep it lonely. So I also think, depending on what the situation is, my situation is I've got the family at home, so I have a child. My first child is at uni, she's back, and they've started remote instructions from this week as they were on spring break last week. My son, who's a first year lower 6th A-level student, is also at home. He's a little bit lost, so we need to spend some time working through what we believe his timetable should be. He feels it a lot more. And I guess at 16, as a teenager, you're missing your friends and missing a routine. For him particularly, I think he needs a routine. So I'm sure many children will be in that category. Whilst my daughter is pretty efficient at planning her time, and although not very happy about being separated from her friends, but she's more matured about it and facing the reality that we're all facing, that this is our new reality. So it's just really to encourage. What I found actually that I thought, it was worth talking about at this very early onset of being confined to the house, of having to work from home. The positives that I can see is, as a mother of grown children, I'm so used to everybody doing their own thing. So Friday was good, although being the last day for my son to be in school, it was good to be able to actually drive him to school. And when he got back, I was there to open the door. We did the routine of, here's a hand sanitizer, and go wash your hands, and just to be able to welcome him home. It was actually really nice. It hasn't happened in a few years, so it's good to have that reality. And I thought that was really a positive. So whilst many people have spent time commenting about, oh, let's hope we don't kill each other, how are we going to survive and stuff, I think it's worth taking the novelty out of it, which is you're finally together, so time to get to know each other one more time. So interesting times, but embrace it, make the best of it. Time to get close to the kids, time to get close to your partner, time to get close to your friends virtually. So I've enjoyed sharing that picture of here's a socially distant hug. It's what it is now, but you'd find out that it brings you guys a lot closer together. So more recording to come, and as we see how it goes, I shall enjoy blogging from home and writing about my experiences. But so far so good. I will be staying positive, and we should all stay positive. So see you later. Bye.
To me. Happy Mother's Day
To me.
Happy Mother's Day, dear mommy. Happy Mother's Day to you.
Oh.
I wish you many
This is so
happy
funny.
of the day. Long life and prosperity.
You guys.
Hooray!
Hooray! Group hug.
Hooray!
Safe distance hug. Yeah. Thank you, son.
No.
Thank you, child.
Okay.
I appreciate you loads.
Okay.
Love you all. Love you. What did you get me then? Cake, card, something. What do you mean some cake cards in it? This is nice. Thank you.
This is my personal present because you were
Oh wow! You got.
nice DKNY.
Thank you. Wow, because I'm such a designer person. Yeah, right. Thank you. I didn't know. How much did you spend?
Don't worry about it.
How much are you gonna charge me?
Don't worry about it.
Right, Fee, what did you buy me? Because I seem to recollect I might have bought that cake.
No, I actually did get it.
You bought it?
You did
All
what
right.
now?
Thank you, darling.
I can't do my theory.
What's the government's?
Center, yeah.
Right. Okay.
So I can't even do my theory. So it's like there's literally nothing I can do.
So yeah, government centers will close down. So. Okay. This is going to be one of the emptiest Mother's Days ever, as people sit at home and whatever. I hope we still get a chance to buy our bikes.
Keep them in the house. And if one of them starts coughing, I'm saying like I didn't need one now.
Yeah. Fee, please, why are you wearing these crooked slippers? It's already gone. This thing has no life left in it. You need to throw it away. So my working space is this. I will use this as we go. Total length of the kitchen, and the space is dedicated for the university child. So the study has been taken over by Adiola, who's, I guess, is more important that she has a proper solid structure to work from. And we can see this will be, I guess, this is the boys' den, really. So my son will be spending all his time in here. Yeah, we can make it work, and we will make it work, because that's what we do. We have to make things work. But, you know, whatever space you've got to work with, just be positive about it. Everything will work out okay. Enjoy the day.
There's no way you can give a distance, it's not possible. It's just one-on-one, as you can see.
Yep.
So this
Following on from Boric's historic announcement yesterday,
to cut hair. Now she has
COVID.
to stop. Very, very, very tough.
Yeah.
The rent is not even the most important thing now. My life first. So and every other person around me.
There are normally 12 self-employed hairdressers in the salon. Eric, the owner, had been struggling on with 2. The decision to shut has now been made for him. He welcomes it.
I think that you should make the close instead of just a few.
Well, to be fair, it made sense to close. So well done, Bojo. It's a tough decision. He did say that is what the circumstance dictate, and that is what must happen. So this is my new reality, my office from home, and we've had to prioritize it all because you've effectively got 3 people working from home. My daughter, who's doing her studies, so she's got the study, very right. William, who's upstairs, has got a table and he's got a desk and a chair in his room, so that's become his office, and I will just have to maintain here. And the baby of the house, who's doing his A-levels, who thinks is on holiday but has to study, will be made to also work in his room. So, good morning, folks. Hope you're all doing well. Day 5 working from home. So I thought I'll keep this blog going because, do you know what? I'm finding out that it is hard. It is really hard. But the only way to keep going is to keep that level of positivity high. And what I've found, actually, you have to stick to a routine. That's how I believe we can do it. So you stick to a routine. I know week 1, wake up, your normal time, shower, dress up. As opposed to now rushing out of the house, you actually get doing housework. Obviously the housework has to be shared with all the occupants of the house, but what I've found that's working for me is I wake up my normal time. I'm very early bird, usually up by 4:30. I normally do I do my prayers, do a little bit of paperwork, try and recollect what happened the day before, and then get up. So I'm finding out that by 6 a.m. I'm showered and dressed, and I come downstairs. I now tidy up. I've made it my job to tidy up the kitchen. The kids are doing okay, but not as great as can be. So I have got work to do in the mornings. Tidy up, clean up. I might clean all their work areas as well, and just get things ready. And I feel settled doing that. Then I come and set myself up, that's my working area. I sit there, massively comfortable sofa, and my workstation is pretty much set up that way. One thing I found is I always make sure, even though I don't need to put stuff away at the end of the day, I feel it's better too, because your home is still your home. It's not an office. I am lucky to have a lot of space, but there's 4 of us in that space now, and we've all got to thread quite carefully around each other. We've got people studying, we've got people doing night time, been on a different time zone for schools, and also different time zones for work, actually, because you've got people in my household, you've got people talking to the Hague, you've got people talking to US, you've got people talking to India. So yeah, so it's about really keeping a routine, keeping the spirits up. You do have to listen to news, but don't binge on it. So, COVID isn't taking it easy at all, but the only way is to make sure we keep on top of things. We do all the things that's been asked of us. Most importantly, we do have to keep that distance between ourselves and people not in our household. So the social distancing, given the news, we actually have to try and keep to that. So interestingly, my phone, an iPhone 10, there was nothing wrong with it, gave way at this time as well. I'm quite happy with the way I've dealt with it, because I could have been really frustrated, as I like to keep in touch all the time. So that broke down on Monday. I got a new replacement yesterday, and I've just managed to download all my apps. So I'm back online. In the meantime, I survived without, well, I survived without it, but I do have to say I do have a spare phone, which was using my Nigerian number on my backup phone, and that sort of sufficed for a few days, allowed me to keep in touch with the most important people, really, my parents, my friends, and my groups, so they're aware there's nothing wrong with me, and that's also very important at this time. You do have to let people know where you are, what you're doing, so they're not worried about you. That's very important, not just from one's perspective, but we have to keep in touch with everyone. So guys, just wishing you a lovely day. I'm gonna get my day started, and taking a bit of news, taking a bit of rest when I need it. And actually, I might go into the garden today and just exercise. In terms of the daily exercise recommended by the government, I think it's a good idea, but I've made up my mind I will be stepping out of the house every other day for this exercise. At the same time, get my top-up shopping done. Luckily for me, I'm not too far from the high street, so I can walk to the shops. I'm roughly about 3 miles, actually just about 10 minutes from the local Tesco Express convenience store, and about 2 miles from a main store. So in total, you know, on every other day, I could get in 5 to 6 miles of walking, which I love to do. So guys, find the exercise that you love to do and do it as well. So anyway, catch up soon, and wishing you the very best for the day. Bye for now.
In the coronavirus walk.
Yeah.
Just come here. We're actually in public, so I think so. Oh no. So we're going to the post office. Post office.
It's
opened.
Dad only bought small, large latex gloves, but I have tiny hands.
Well, yeah, no, it doesn't even fit my hands.
Yeah, I'm saying Home Needs has like small size.
Yeah, but since you're protesting about us buying this one, shouldn't we keep it for our professionals? All right, you can see this is the new world. Right in the middle of the road, the kids. All right.
Generally, if you're infected with the virus, first 3 to 4 days generally there is nothing. 4th, 5th day you may start running mild temperature. This mild temperature is not to be ignored right now. And by 6th, 7th day you may start mild coughing. Well, by 9th, 10th day you may be manifesting pneumonia in the lungs, or worse, fibroids. But by the time you get mild fever, if you notice this, immediately you go for treatment. If you are within the age group of 1 to 60, very easily, 99% of the time you recover, 99% of the time. Many of us right now may be asymptomatic carriers of the virus. In many of us, it may never show any symptom. In some of us, it may show mild symptoms. In some of us, it may show severe symptoms. Some of us may go. But in most of us, it may not show any symptom and it may just pass through us. But we could be giving it to somebody else whose life is at risk, somebody else who's far more vulnerable than us. It is of people who are over 60 years of age, who are largely vulnerable, those who are using any kind of immunoblockers because of medical conditions, those who are using blood thinners, those who have gone through any kind of organ transplant. These are the very vulnerable population, and infants below 1 year of age. It is our business to ensure that that population is well protected among us. I want you to take this commitment that we will ensure in the next 12 months, because we are thinking of a 12-month span in which this virus may play out its drama. In these 12 months, nobody in our families, nobody in the yoga center, People who are around us, who are in this vulnerable age group or condition, there will not be a single fatality. We need to take that commitment and make sure that it happens. I want you to understand this is a long haul. It's not over in 3 days or 7 days or 15 days. We are trying to do 15 days to break the cycle and level out the spread. But it's not going to be over. Most scientists are saying it will last anywhere between 12 to 18 months before our bodies learn to handle the virus. There is no need to panic. What is needed is precautiousness, not panic. Above all, there is substantial data to show that if a person is exuberant, joyful and wonderful, their immune system is always functioning at a better level of protection than those who are depressed and worried about something.